right? You're solving a problem. You come in there and maybe the MD wants to try you. And he says, over the years, this is how we've progressed. However, I'd say I look at our books, we're doing okay, it's not so bad. But we've been having this challenge and no one has been able to solve it. Now, you might not be the head of anything, but he's sharing with you to see how you think, how you probably could be innovative. So there's a problem. Your ability to solve complex problems is very key, right? Learning to look at problems from a completely different perspective. Everyone has been looking at it at one particular way. For you to look at it and look at it in depth, you're thinking of it, you will identify multiple solutions to a problem that everyone else has said it's impossible to solve. So, complex problem solving, we're going to learn that in business analysis. Your ability to take the most difficult task or challenge in an organization, and then you think of processes and ways and think outside the box. What techniques? There must be something. Every solution or everything that's going well today was once a problem. Electricity was once a complex problem back in the day before we invented bulbs. We wouldn't have this place. It wouldn't be this bright. Someone said, no, we can do something. This place could be illuminated. What can we do? Someone was thinking it was a big problem back in the day. Oh, we can't fly. We have different parts on Earth. We want to explore, but what can we do? If I have to go by road or I have to take a boat, it's going to take a really long time. It was someone's challenge before they developed airplanes. It was complex at the time, but one individual, because he possessed the skills, thought outside the box, and he was able to see multiple solutions, and he found a way to solve that problem that seemed impossible. Now we've gone from just airplanes, we go to space, we have spacecrafts, you have different Boeing this, Boeing that, there's some other helicopters, there are different ways to go about things. So someone sat down and thought deeply about a problem and found a solution. Very important. You need that skill. If you're somewhere and you cannot think of solutions to problems, then what value do you really bring? If you don't solve anything, if you're not able to solve anything, you're there, things are going bad, all you do, which is what every other Nigerian does. This is bad. You complain and you complain and you complain and you complain. What has your brain done? What solutions have you preferred? We're all condemning the government. The government does you too. You jump on there. You're condemning the government. Look at your life. What solutions have you provided for yourself? There are people who's made it. You're where you are today. You're complaining. Someone found a solution in this so terrible Nigeria. What solutions did you come up with? So when we're accusing people that are complaining, it's because you lack the ability to solve problems. But business analysis would teach you that. Critical thinking. If you're solving a problem and you're going to think outside the box, it has to be critical. You're preferring solutions in a business space is very important for optimizing business models. Everything feeds into everything. If you're going to solve a complex problem, you need to think critically. If you're thinking critically, in your thinking moment, so these are the products of certain processes and skills. When you think critically, there is no way that you would solve a problem and think critically and not be creative. It's impossible. In that moment, the product of thinking, that thought process, isolating yourself and saying, let me look at it from a different perspective, okay? You will, whatever solutions you come up with, it's part of that creative process. You must be creative. It will be creative. If it's going to really solve the problem, you're being creative in that moment. So people management, if you're a business analyst, you have to manage people. You're putting resources together. When you're planning, you're putting together a strategic plan, obviously you need to know what everyone is doing. Now this is also very key for leadership. A leader can come and set direction, which is part of what a business analyst does. And that's why you talk to the hearts of the stakeholders, okay? So you come and you're pretty much you come into a place, your ability to identify different people, understand who they are, but more so understand how to put them together. You recognize the different competencies, you recognize which resources are vital for that particular, project or solution, and then you're able to put that down and say, okay, this plan, we would need X, Y, Z. It's not every resource that you need. And it's not every individual that is playing role. So I said role play, your job description, your role playing. Now, it's not every individual that might have the same strength while carrying out the same job function. So your ability to identify who precisely will help you achieve that business goal is very important. But your ability to put them together, talk to them, manage them, organize them, your people management skill is very important. That also speaks to coordinating with others. So we see emotional intelligence. That's very important. A lot of us don't know how to come into a place, and you don't know when to flare up. Don't let people. This is my personal principle. There is nothing. It would take a lot, except maybe you mess with my mom. It would take a lot for you to stir up a reaction in me. It would take a lot. That means you've done it, and your ability to know when to speak, how to look at someone, and the words to put together. You can tell your boss you don't like something in two ways. You can either be rude about it, or you can be smart about it. There's a way you can communicate. You're communicating the same exact thing. It's just the words you choose. And also knowing when to apply self or say certain things or do certain things. Emotional intelligence is very key. Now, a lot of us just overlook it and say, oh no, it's not important. It's very key. You have to be emotionally intelligent, especially when dealing with people, because if you're going to be great at people management, you need to have emotional intelligence skills to be able to conquer that. Judgment and decision making. So as a business analyst in a corporate world, you're looking at the business goals. You're pretty much, you have to be very objective. People are looking up to you. When you come in, it's like, I want to hear what you have to say, because I know you're coming from an informed perspective. I know you know what you're doing, and your judgment is very vital. So your ability to pass the right judgment and make the right decisions is very key. We also have service orientation. Not a lot of people know that to lead, you must serve, you must show. I want you to treat me nicely the next day. When I see you or when you come, the way I receive you, the way I talk to you, the way I welcome you, my ability to show you, my ability to teach you through serving you so you can serve me back is very key. So you're going to learn all of that. The other two that might not be listed there but was listed by the World Economic Forum is negotiation and cognitive flexibility. We will learn more about that. Now, how do we acquire all these skills required? Business analysis, right? So certificate in business analysis would pretty much, that would, if you get the certificate in business analysis, you're pretty much certifying your knowledge. But what we're going to do today, I'm going to call up Ajibola Bamidele to share deeply about business analysis, right? If you want to acquire these skills, you will acquire them in business analysis. If you want to certify your knowledge, you proceed to actually now training yourself, writing the exam, becoming a certified business analyst. All over the world now, don't take it from me. Go back, open your systems, and research how important and valuable business analysts are all over the world. It's not Nigeria, it's not just Nigeria. Nigeria is a necessity, we need it, whether we like it or not, if businesses want to thrive. All over the world. You know how when you say a particular thing is hotcake or it's trending or this is what is most wanted at this time, everyone wants a business analyst. It is very important. So please, let's together welcome Ajibola Bamidele to take this up and talk to us. He is the group managing partner of Kaizen Blitz, by the way. You can welcome way better than that. See, it's because you don't see the opportunity that lies in the head of this man. That's why you're clapping smiles.
Hello, good evening. How are you doing? Okay, let me just start by talking about what she said now, about the skills that are required. Now, I had a conversation with someone about a few days ago, and we were talking about the future. And the person started talking about the things the person feels she will do in the future, our future plans, our future goals. Then I asked a particular question, who gave you this plan? Sometimes it's always very important to ask ourselves questions. All these plans, how many of us have future plans? Future goals, future plans, future goals. Excellent. Almost everybody in this room.
No, we didn't see hands go up.
Okay, we didn't see hands go up. Almost everybody has future goals. Okay, people are also trying not to raise up their hands so that I won't call them up to come and share their future goals because it's personal. Am I correct? It's personal. Okay. Now, but the question I would have asked you is that who gave you that goal? Who validated that goal, that if you pursue all those plans, truly where you want to be in the future, you will get that? Sometimes it's very bad when we run very fast on the wrong road. You know, you're making progress, but you got to a T-junction and you realize that you missed the road 10 years ago. Because you were thinking, have you ever happened to you because you started a course in school and halfway gone, you knew you were in the wrong course. You knew there's no future for you. Okay, you studied microbiology in Nigeria. I did a bit medical microbiology. I worked in UCH for like 2 years. I was taking blood. I was screening, doing tests, doing wider tests, gram staining. Who's a microbiologist? Studied microbiology, excellent, gram staining, looking for yeast cells and cocci and bacilli and trying to find the problem, culturing, using agar plates, blood agar, sensitive agar to know the drugs that worked, chocolate agar, probably some organisms cannot grow on blood agar and maconke agar. You just keep looking at a lot of agar plates and seeing and not seeing my future in it. We run very fast, but most times, a lot of us find it difficult to retrace our steps back and acknowledge that I'm not doing well. And the same way we go through organizational denial also. Companies have done a lot, have installed, spent a lot in so many solutions that we all know that cannot help us grow. But we've gone too far than to accept that we should, all our investments, that something we call sunk cost. We should just acknowledge and say, you know what, we've messed up. Then we need to set up a new direction. The same way individuals also, of course, all organizations is the learning shadow of these people. So if individuals find it difficult to retrace their steps, definitely organizations will find it difficult to retrace their steps, even when they know that they need to do something about it. Am I correct? So we struggle. And business analysis is just a course you can apply to life, because you can apply it to everything you want to do at the executive level, individual life, everything you want to do. You can see a BA role required because we all want to get to the future. But I can tell you, we don't so much, we don't know how. We don't have this foolproof plan. How many of us can come and share your foolproof plan? Because we have a change. We live in a VUCA world. People say things are changing. Imagine someone that did ICANN years ago. Those days where if you do ICANN, remember where I was going. If you pass ICANN, we do testimony nights for you. We also, there's a particular, I was going to a church in 1994, we will do moi moi and we will celebrate because we just passed ICANN. But we just feel that there's a breakthrough. Am I correct? This 1994, 93, if you pass ICANN, everybody will know in the community that you passed ICANN. But that's not a testimony anymore, is it? Am I correct?
Yes.
Like my father, let me give a little story. Many years ago, he had a plan. The surveyor, but he felt that if he was a licensed surveyor, his life would have been better. Of course, you don't go surveyor and licensed surveyor. So for 20 years, he was waiting to be licensed, to be a licensed surveyor. So at some point, he felt that everything was going wrong for him because he didn't pursue the license surveyor goal. And I don't know who told him that license surveyor is actually what makes you successful. You know, everybody just have these things you've held on to. And somebody here also, our organization, we have something we've held on to that if we do this, we'll make it. But you know, that's what being business analysis is about, because we all need information to validate our decision. That's what it's about. We all need accurate information. So most times when people raise, how many of us have been turned down in management meeting before? Probably after raising an idea and said, we'll do this. And you left the place and you were hungry. Is it? They will not listen, you know. So most times when people come up with ideas in meetings, I ask you a question. I said, how do you know your idea is an idea? Because I feel. Who told you you have an intelligent feeling? Who tested that? Who validated your feelings? That we should put money on feelings. So business analysis is about you validating what you think you know. So let's imagine you want to raise up an idea at work now. After this course, then you have to apply. Because my client said, a man who does not use has no advantage over a man who does not have. So even when you have this, you might not use it. You might still can raise idea at work on Monday and use the old school way that will pull to also have a person somewhere. We'll give you an idea. So let's imagine you came up with, you want to come up with an idea, then you've looked at the history of your company, you've looked at also competitive brands in your space, you look at the trend in your environment, these are the techniques we're going to be looking into. You look at all those things, and you came up with a business case. The cost of non-conformance, the cost of conformance, what's the benefit cost analysis for all this idea. Then you now say, hello, so I have an idea. Then you presented that idea talking about all you've done. I feel they will listen more than if you just say, I have an idea. You know, you also looked at the cost of we not doing it against that competitive position. You tie it to their strategy and their vision and their goals, and you say, come if we don't do it now. And when it comes to business analysis, it's not about doing, it's about what we need to do now. No, it's not about solutions. There's some things you want to deploy. If you don't do it now, it's okay. Just don't do it again. I don't know whether you get what I'm saying. Now, there's some ideas you have. If you don't launch it now, don't tell me any idea can be launched anytime. If it's not now, it's over. There's some ideas that have to come up with a new idea. I don't know whether you want to. If you don't do it now, let's imagine you have an idea to take on the market by repackaging pure water. Somebody did it before you did it. Then you can look and think what I want. You don't have to learn that again. It's done. Somebody has done it already. So your unique idea just went off your way. So you can't just say, boy, it was my idea. You know, that's not it. So when it comes to business analysis, we're going to be looking at so many things as regards this. Then I said something, every company, every organization, we have a goal. We're in the present state, and we're looking for how do we get to the future. How many of us know that every company is thinking about this? That's why we come up with strategy. So how many of us have been in strategic meetings? I call it tragedy meetings now. You know, sometimes we're in meetings and when we're done, we know that it's failed. Have you seen sometimes you're done with meetings and you know that it's a lie? Let me give you an example. I was in a meeting one day and we were talking about, I was doing a finance company, we're taking up a sales strategy with them and all, and we're done. So I looked at the goal with the CEO and I said, well, you know, this goal, you cannot implement it. So he said, how now? Look at that. I said, you don't have the required capabilities, both you and your team. You know, sometimes for every goal, for every future we want to get to, there's a required capability. You know, it just like you went for a pep talk with Ayimba. Ayimba, 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 do you know you can be better? Yes, or Ayimba. Do you know this is going to happen? Ayimba. Motivate, but it's not by motivation. You know, when you say, some people have been motivated to be frustrated. Because it will never happen to Ayimba to beat Baka. No, it can. But there's a gap. There's a capability gap. That's what we're trying to. Now, it can happen in the future. Now, I don't believe any company cannot get to any level. No, we can all get to any level. But we just have to plug in the required capability, that's all. Am I correct?
Yes.
Do you think if we change the name of Baka to Ayimba, do you think the spell of Ayimba will come? No. They will still remain Baka because of the capabilities they have. So many times we look at our strategy plan and we know already that we don't have the capabilities to drive this. And I looked at all the stakeholders they've written the strategy plan, and I looked at those people they were trying to get, and I knew that the team they have, that were even doing the retreats with, the sales team, cannot do it. I was doing a session with a company, was it last year, and there's this particular lady, I talk about her everywhere. Her name is Seki. Remember talk about Seki? Yeah, Seki. I don't call her name with that whole Seki, you must call her name with attitude, because in the meeting there were only 3 in sales. 3. And I said, so what's your goal? What's your goal? Is going to be your goal for your department this year? She said, personally, she wants to do 14 billion. How? So yeah, last year I joined them 7 months ago. I did 7 billion. So I know the product. Then I can do 14 billion. Of course, she joined the company in 2 weeks. No, in 2 months they made her ED. Of course, somebody bringing 14 billion should be ED. Do you know the capabilities in Seki that is making us save 14 billion? You cannot motivate someone, make her on the afraid to say it. The person will give 2 million, they say, why did I get this floor? You not say you go and bring sales guys to come and do motivational speaking. You can do all things. You can't do all things. There's a level. Sometimes they bring trainers to come and transform what cannot happen. But trainers in Nigeria will not talk, they collect money. Say, come and help us, get us a new horse whip to whip the dead horse. When the horse is dead, it's dead. So when you look at capabilities, so we all find ourselves in the present and we want to get to the future. So to thrive in an ever-changing world, you need to make what? That means you don't need to make decisions the right way. Because you don't have time. And our competitors also, they're not resting, they're not sleeping. Everybody wants to make the right decision. So this is only achievable if you have the right information. Okay, so, where is it? Went there. But you went here. Where will you go? Now, you're chasing someone. What's it? Say, Ike. You not got somewhere. Say, where is it? Say, he went there. But you went here. Where do you go? Here. What are you about? You're confused. You're chasing someone. Then you got to a junction and you're looking for where he went to. It's a junction. Then you met someone there. I said, where is it? And the guy actually went there. But the guy said, no, the guy went here. But the guy said, he went here. What have you done to? Here. Why? You have the wrong information. So your information also affected your decision. Am I correct? If they have told you here, they have told you. So now, imagine, now what will you now do? You'll be running. You will find him. And that's how so many companies also run. They have the wrong information. Then are taking the wrong route to where they will never get to. So for us to make great decisions, we need great information. And we said business analysis is vital in helping the organization obtain this information to manage business change. Of course, without information, we should not make any business change. Okay? So when you look at this, with the scarce resources, we cannot waste money. And that's the issue about business also. You don't want to waste money. In fact, like I always tell people that for every talent you want to hire, it's like a business decision, isn't it? And you need information to make the right decision also. And if you get the wrong information, you make the wrong decision. That's why we say we've gotten pure, or unidentified document error, because you didn't make the right decision. This guy gave you the wrong. And HR, people that are in talent acquisition now should be very careful. People have information that is wrong, and they will send it to you. They will send it to you in interview. Have you seen people came up with interview? You're asking questions, but they're giving information because they've gone to rehearse the information. Am I correct? So if you're not careful, they give you right information that you want. We call it cultural noise. Right information then will lead you to hire them, but we hire Dogo because you want light. Like I was telling my team, this one talking about this conference, and I said something about. I said, do you know this conference? What happened in BA was what happened the same way many years ago, when there's this particular king that tried to get talents. The guy wanted talents and he wanted the best. Okay? So when he got the talents and they were all seated, he trained them for 3 years. Because he wanted the best ads, spent money on trainers, onboarding, everything he could ever do for 3 years. So here comes a problem. Then the guy said nobody can solve this problem. She was talking about the economic forum and talking about the skills, problem solving skills. So if you have a problem as a company, like my boss told me years ago, I ran to him for problems. He said, sir, I need a solution. I said, what do you have had? He said, then, have I had headless jiwala? So, what's this for? So I was looking at my hand. but have you not seen situations whereby the problem is a head problem? We don't know how to make, we don't have information, we don't know how to solve problems. There's no problem actually in business. It's a head problem. So this guy said something. He said, you know what? It's only God that can solve this problem. The CEO was angry. God cut their head. Fire them. Because why will our business have problems and we have managers, HR manager, finance manager, different manager, or they might even put head in front of the name. Head of. Have you seen somebody head of with no head? So I've been to so many forums before and I saw so many heads. This head of something. So please, we have a champion strategy. We have a problem. I said, but you said head of. Why you bring another head? If there's several heads. No, I don't know what I understand what I'm saying. So why do we need more heads? Why do we need to spend so much on head? Have you seen some companies have problems and you bring McKinsey in? You know what you're saying? We don't have head. We need another head. Everybody here have tried. We don't. Does that makes a bit of problem. If you have a CEO like that whole CEO, the first thing you do is to fire all the heads. Because they don't actually have a head. Because there's a problem and they cannot solve. So business analysis is about if before our organization even runs into any problem, we're anticipating. We're helping them be, I can call this strategy architect, or we're spies into the trends, what's happening. Business analysts create problems. They identify opportunities, problems before anyone even sees. They're not reactive. That they have done something. No, they're the ones that champion it. I also feel that like Apple should have a lot of BAs to lead the market because they keep spotting problems everywhere. So with scarce resources, we don't have money to waste. We must make the right decision. So getting ahead in business, only the right business solutions at the right time can, and that's every leader's responsibility. So if we find ourselves in our organization, if we're not helping to identify solutions at the right time, then we cannot help our company grow. Don't forget, every company has at the back of their mind, they want to maintain competitive advantage. You have this kind of competitive advantage, what's it? You see, if you don't do it, and don't forget in our age now, I don't know, you've heard so much about agile, agile and agile. So your competitive advantage this month might not be your competitive advantage next month if you're not careful, because things that competitors are changing the business. Is it battle? They keep changing. So in fact, I don't know whereby they're running us into trouble because you finish a course. You have to do another one. Because if you leave that one, you'll be cost. So you take one, because the environment is destroying what we do. There's disruption every time. Unless you are denying. A lot of time we're going into denial. I'm done. Well, it's not about you. The Economic Forum is talking about the skills for the future. Now, the HR space, we talk about the future too much. AI will take over. AI will take over. AI will take over. AI will take over. I get too much. I get hungry. I get hungry in the HR space too much. And the same people talking about it, they're not doing nothing about preparing for it. But they talk about motivating people into it. So most time when I go for conference, say the future will change. AI will ask, oh, no, hello, what are you doing? They are training me. That AI, if you're not careful, what are you doing? Which skills are you acquiring? And Economic Forum is saying that these are the skills, but you want to learn another skill. Does that understand? I don't understand. Now, who validated the skills that we need to acquire? Now that means if I look at my profile and I don't have those skills, I don't know how to use those skills, then my concern in the next few years, few months, is to acquire those skills. Now, I don't like those skills. It's okay. But if the world sat down together and said, from 2020, there's certain skills we need, then that's the direction. So if you tell me what you're doing to make it, and I know that's the direction, I'll follow you. Because it's validated. So they're telling us that in the future, we must acquire those skills, and we must have them. Because we cannot be competing with AI. They are very effective. AI is very effective. You cannot compete against them. Am I correct? Yes. Faster. But the challenge is AI cannot come up with solutions to a problem. So because AI is a problem, is a solution to a problem. Okay, there's a problem of efficiency, there's a problem of this. So AI is coming to solve that problem of waste. It's coming to solve that problem. So who are those that put together what AI should solve? That will be the future. It won't be competing with AI. You can't compete with AI. They're very fast. Google is very fast to get information. You cannot process the way they will process. So if you're not equipped with a skill, have you ever seen whereby you travel, and sorry, I do that a lot, I think about how did they conceive this plane? So does it have to change before that you look at what kind of brain do we have? Sorry, I don't know. Does it happen to you? I do a lot of thinking on myself. Like, okay, human being like me. What about this? And it has never been before. Where did they get this brain from? Because I'm not even thinking this. Sorry. I don't know whether it happens to you. Sorry, when I sit down, I look at that there's a different brain, and when they give back to their brain. Because if I have brain too, sorry, these are conversations that I have with myself, within me. I say, for my brain, even the one I say I should do at work, that is normal. It's normal. I don't understand it. How much more creating a problem, solving a future problem that people don't even know they will have, then there's a problem with my brain. Then I need to heal my brain. Sorry, I talk to myself a lot because if anybody will not borrow you brain, borrow yourself brain. I don't have brain to think that. So I sit down and I say, Jibola, come. You're in this world and you can live it only once. And this your age. You have less than 30 years more to be active, or 25 years more to be very active. So the timeline to be, for that brain to work is very short. I don't know whether you think about that. So if it doesn't work 20 years, 25 years, then it's done, it's gone. The brain came and went and died. So I need to do something about it. So, and that's every leader's responsibility to help companies solve problems. So now getting ahead might require you to continually help your company to identify new problems and also determining the future state for them. Because so many companies, so many CEOs are also confused. They don't even know the future. Do you think CEOs actually know the future? It's a lie. So we are meant to help show them future direction. You know, Steve Jobs, one of his best quotes that said, we hire people so they can tell us what to do. Now, can you see there's a challenge with that quote? Even when they give people JD, they don't meet the goal on the JD. But somebody is saying, we hire people not to give them JD. That's what it means. Not to tell them what to do. Because when we tell people what to do, then instead we won't hire those people. That means if Steve Jobs was even alive, you might not get a job. Because imagine you get a job in Nigeria and just say, you know what, we have this problem, solve it, Papa. Say, what's my JD? No JD. That's JD. Problem. Hey, but give me, I want to be structured. That's the problem. Sorry, do you know they won't take the job? They're not structured here. No, that means if we even get the opportunity to work with Steve Jobs, we won't be hired. Because we want him to give us JD. And he's saying, we don't have JD when we want to hire people. We hire people that will tell us our future state, where we should go. Now, do we really have these people around? Have you ever tried to look for, if you're looking for people that will tell you where to go in Nigeria, do you think your company really fail? Or your time to fill will be like 3 years or 4? Or you might be trying to fill the talent for 10 years because even you yourself cannot do it. Cannot even tell. I'm trying to make us see things in a different way. So, there are required capabilities now. When we identify the gaps, we need to build those capabilities. And we said, understanding the enterprise to know if they are ready. Because now, it's possible that we've identified, itemized the required capabilities. But our company, we're not ready for it, for the transition. Because sometimes we desire what we're not ready for. Does that happen? Companies desire what they have to do. Like I was in a conference and I was saying people should never condemn Nigeria again. Honestly. I say it everywhere. Anyone condemning Nigeria is a bad person. I said, why? I said, if this country will change to be like America, then it just will make all our graduates jobless. In fact, it's the only country you can survive without learning for 10 years and get promoted. So why do you want Nigeria to change? No? Do you understand me? Now, the more complex problem you are bringing, we should know that in 20 years, like I was talking about, I said, there's no way in the world. I was in Turkey a few months ago, and Turkey built one of the biggest airports in the world now. Just launched it about a few months ago. And they never, all the material, all the engineers went to Turkish school. All the materials were made in Turkey. They didn't import any even talents to do it. Local content alone. Now, these are the people we want to compete with. Now, if Nigeria will now be like Turkey, and we want it to be like Turkey in 8 years' time, who will service, who will do those things? We'll create a problem that will now open our world to Chinese to come in and Indians because they will have the capabilities to work in the future. Hello? I don't know, I'm trying to stay out of subject. So the question is this. Now, sorry, what I want to say, delete it, please. Don't think about what I want to say now because I believe in God. And I believe God can do all things. Sorry, I'm just trying to clarify this. What I'm saying now is contextual, okay? And this is my opinion. My opinion is, and it's not valid. It's not in any book, so please delete it. So I'm saying it so that you don't feel bad. This country, in 20 years, if we change from where we are and we become great, then our children will not still have jobs. It's very strange thing, isn't it? We're great, but we just open our shores for other people to get the jobs. Why? You need to know what is happening in academic education. You need to know how degenerated a primary school is. Those are the 25-year-old 20 years down. Those are the 27 years old. They're 7 years old now. And they're the ones that will be engineers, that will be used to work. Those 10 years old, 20 years time, will be 30. They're the ones that will help us sustain. So if you look at what is happening in the schools today, then you know that there are no required capabilities to manage if we are not still like this in the future. Like I shared, one of my cousins got a job, got admission in a school after we begged her to go to school for like 10 years. She learned hairdressing, she learned this one, she failed this one. Go to school! And then go to NCE. That was the encouragement. And she got admission. When she told me she got admission to NCE, yay! To teach who? To teach who for what future? My mother was looking at me. My mother was thinking about this. How will this girl become a teacher? Everything in her hands had failed the last resort, and they gave her admission to come and be teacher in those schools. And now we enter school to build the future. Which future? You go to schools and you cannot even talk to the teachers that are teaching your kids. You just have to, if you don't have money, you have to module. Module means don't think about it. Because you think about it, your pocket and your, what you can pay, the funds available at the school. So many times I tell people, we drop our children in schools and we know there's no future. Because we know this person, this teacher self cannot work with me in my organization as a subordinate. How much more building the future? So we don't have the required capabilities for the future that we desire, and nobody is looking at it. Then we're looking at the economy, we're looking at, let us do this, but I can tell you, if we get those things right, then we have to sustain it. Then we have to open our borders to allow others come and get the job. So it won't still solve unemployment. It won't. Because we will not have locals that will have the required capabilities to sustain the technological advancement that we are praying for. So we just have to reduce it so that we can have jobs in the future when we are gone and say, Nigeria, stay where you are. Until we build required capabilities, there's no sustainability in our nation. It sounds a bit terrible, but it's the truth. Okay? It's the truth. Because every nation is also investing so much in required capabilities for the future they're going forward. So, in the beginning, there was chaos. So many companies, I remember 2007, 5, 6, 8, 9, the surge of project management was strong. Can you remember? People were doing PMP. It was really strong. Am I correct? Because there was a statistics that came out by the Standish Group in 2008 that only 32% of world projects are successful. So there was a concern. Others fail, things are not being met, project deadlines are not being met. So the world had that problem. Then they started working on it to improve project management skills, making sure people have those skills so that projects can be successful. Now, where the world is now is, projects are even successful now, meeting timeline, but we're not there. I said the world, not us. Because our projects are still not meeting timelines, they're still not successful, they're below the required scope, they're not meeting, am I correct? We're still struggling with all these things. So, but the world have moved away from that, and the world is saying, what is the benefit of having a successful project, but not helping the business grow? It's not leading. So it's not about having projects or project success and delivering solution. It's about this solution, does it have what we need to take this company forward? I don't know what I'm trying to say. So the world, so BA, that's why you see the world talking about BA now, because they're not talking about projects. They're talking about, fine, project management skill, everybody has it. They should have it. Not Africa. We assume, am I correct, that everybody should have it. But now, these projects that are called successful projects, are they helping us? Are they positioning us? And if you look at Nigeria, we spend so much on projects. But this is the only country that spends a lot on projects, and the country is not growing. I don't see. Because I've seen the trend. Sorry, I like going to Turkey a lot. Because I've seen the trend in their growth. You know, I've seen the things. How many have been there? Where? Excellent. Sorry, what year did you go there? 17. Sorry, who's been to Turkey like 2004, 5, 3? 2003? 1, 3, 4? Now, Turkey had no train system. They had none. In fact, most times when we lodge in Asura, we want to go to Istanbul, then we need to wake up, the same way we wake up from Ikeja to go to Ireland, to run early. That's what we do. But just within 5 years, Turkey duplicated the exact train system in England. 20 feet down. Not the 200 feet down. The same, you've been to England every time. You see the train system, how organized. That's exactly what you have in Turkey. And it was done in 5 years. So now, so when you see things like that, you know that so many things can happen in 5 years. 5 years is just someone that is a non-engineer can be an engineer, isn't it? 5 years, non-accountant can be an accountant. 4 years, 5 years. So if you don't tell me, like if you tell me Jibola was a profession, I say, I don't know. What the future says I should do is what I do. I don't have a profession. Sorry, I've accepted that professions can die. So I must only align myself with what the future says it is. So if you tell me, what will I be? Jibola, you're an engineer. I say, I'm not for now. See, you're just for now. Because it takes 5 years to evolve to be a lawyer. 6 years? 5? So in 6 years I come and say, we're lawyers. Yes. So really, how can you now tell me that what I did 6 years ago has labeled me that I'm a lawyer for life? No, I can re-emerge and re-evolve. In 6 years, I can become a chartered accountant in the next 3 years, isn't it? 3 years? If I do SC, am I correct? So I'm not an accountant, but I can be one in 3 years. So really, you should not call me any profession if there's a timeline for what I can do and improve myself to be there. So the world was bothered about project success, also successful projects that didn't deliver value. Sorry, has anybody called someone before and said, look at this. One person said, what's your Larry? Sorry, my grandma would do that when he was still alive. She would hold someone's head, like, no, I hold you. And that person said, King Larry. Larry means, what is, you are here for, there's no usefulness. You know, what's your worth? So, it's a problem. What's your usefulness? So, this became a major concern to businesses because they were spending money. I was taking the IT department of a particular bank. That was a year ago. The business analysts and the IT guys, the IT engineers. But we got to a point that there's this solution that they've deployed that those IT guys said, the bank will not quit this, but we all know that it can't work again. But they keep saying, let's work on it, let's design it. No. We've invested so much in that solution. But we know that this solution cannot get us to the future. So that's what was happening to them. So we have a lot of solutions we deploy in companies that we know that cannot get us where we're going. So typical projects expends least effort on requirement analysis. You see, we don't go deep. Like I met a guy and I said, why were you late to work? You know what the guy said? He said, because of where I'm staying. No, there was traffic. I said, why are you staying where there was traffic? I said, because that's what I can afford. So why is it that that's what you can afford? Said, because that's what the company is paying me. I said, why is it that the company is paying you that amount? He said, I don't know. You know, it's sad that people don't want to take responsibility to make to talk about himself as the reason because I don't know, help us talk to them. You know, that it will change the company's pay, not us changing our own value that we're adding to the business. Now, what's business analysis? It's about determining problems and opportunities, identifying business needs, and recommending what? That means we don't recommend solutions. We recommend viable solutions. To do what? To meet those needs and support strategic decision making. Now, we elicit, we analyze, we specify, we communicate, we manage, different things we do. And we define benefits and approaches for measuring real value. So we're telling our company that if you deploy this, this is going to be the benefit, and this is how you should measure real value. I was talking to someone in an interview about a few weeks ago, and I said, okay, if you're hired, how should they measure your value? Your real value. So since you know your real cost, you know how much you want to earn. Because when we got to the point, this is what I want to say, okay. What should we itemize your definition of your value? That if this is not there, you should write Miss Road on your name. The guy said, people don't have those things defined, isn't it? Hello? Hello? HR leaders, some are here. People know the amount they're meant to be earning, but they don't know how the company. Imagine you have a CEO that said, fine, name any amount, I'll pay you. But give me your benefit cost analysis. Like you're coming, this hour should measure value if you're coming. But I can tell you that if you keep asking that in the interview, there'll be no problem. Am I correct? Not everybody can itemize their true worth in any organization. Please don't let us sleep instrumentally. I'll move very fast. Some people are sleeping instrumentally. It's a busy cost. I think who are looking at instrumental sleeping. So please, wake up from beside you. I'll make it fast, okay? So, in short, business analysis is the set of everything you will need to do to identify problems and recommend solutions. So let me move on. So, who's a business analyst? Now, business analysis is not really a profession. It's a profession. But it can be applied in every business area. Because as a leader, your role is to help identify problems, am I correct? And recommend solutions that the companies can, and viable ones. So who's the business analyst? Anyone. Those who perform this role of identifying problems and recommending solutions, they are business analysts. Do you understand? So it's no longer about you are titled BA. No. In fact, it will be easier if everybody in management is a BA. You know, we could analyze, we all have information. Like, let me give you an example. Have you ever seen, my former boss will give you an agenda, like a meeting agenda that doesn't look like what you know, and it gives it to you. So in meetings, if you say, so what's your opinion? And just look at you. He'll walk you out of the meeting, immediately, walk you out. But it feels that you should be prepared for the meeting. You should read, you should learn, you should look at what companies. Imagine they just say, we're deploying this, and you have a room to prepare. You have 2 weeks to prepare. You have 2 weeks to go and burn candles, but you coming to my meeting, that's my boss telling you, you coming to my meeting without anything to say, with intuitive decisions, they are wrong. Hello? Can you see why people come to meetings and they don't listen to them? Because did we really prepare? Check your company's competitors, check the global competitors, check what they are doing, check trends, look at how it aligns with what the company wants to do. In meetings, we'll be able to say better things, we'll come up with better information because we are prepared for that meeting, isn't it? But there are business analysis professionals with other job titles who also perform business analysis activities. So HR does that, am I correct? That's what we do every time. People that even do talent acquisition, that's BA work. Because you're looking at a talent gap in your company, isn't it? And saying that if you plug, these are the kind of, if you're doing workforce planning, really, that's a BA role, isn't it? You know, people that know what workforce planning is about, whereby you're thinking about the required competency in the future, the current competencies you have, the gap between it, and what do we do to make sure our company plugs in the right skill. How many of us do that? That's a BA work that you're doing already. So you're a BA. So, or you change your name from HR to BA HR. So, business analysis discipline has evolved, and what is still evolving. So today, no matter whether the role is filled with business or technical side, the important point is that those who perform business analysis should possess the requisite skills to facilitate collabo from both business and IT areas and understand stakeholders needs and all. You see, this is one of the most difficult roles of a BA. Because you are not the boss, but you facilitate collaboration. That means you must have not the position, but the power, the authority to be able to bring all the leaders, because you're steering up direction. So when I was telling somebody, I said, this BA role looks more like a leadership role. Because everybody at the C-suite, or not say C-suite, at the functional heads, they're meant to help to do all this we're talking about, to help facilitate. So what you're trying to do is, an operational area, the business area wants to embark on a project. So they will call different stakeholders, isn't it? From different departments. And say, okay, this is what we want to do. So everybody start talking about how it will affect their function. And how this new software or whatever we want to deploy, how will it, so you're trying to call risk in, am I correct? Yes. Risk will be there. Who else will be there? Customer engagement, all stakeholders will sit down together, and everybody will be looking at this particular software you want to deploy and see how it's going to impact their business area. So you elicit all the requirements from all of them, and make sure because it's possible that you've elicited also all the requirements and you know what to do, but the business is not ready for the transition. So there's a phase of that we're trying to elicit everything we need to do. There's a phase we're also looking at the business. Are we even ready to deploy? Even when we know what to do. Hello? How many of us always do what we know that we should do? Hello? Even when we know we should do. I don't know what has it ever happened to you before in school that you knew that you read but you didn't? Sorry. So there's this friend of mine that we call Kawe. That we named it because of, after a while, after he has not read to miss semester, maybe we just done it, maybe just had a test, this mid-semester test, and maybe it came out like maybe he had 2/30, So we now say, you came out Kawe! As in, that he knows. So you're telling him that he should read. It's not a gist. So it knows this. It knows what he needs to do to the future, but he's not doing it. So the same way, all organizations, when we've recommended those solutions, we need to also help them manage that transition to the future state. Because the future state is not easy. Let me give you an example. So many times, I was at a conference one time abroad, and somebody said, the same thing that will happen in change transition is what happened in Egypt. When they sold a great future to a team of people, and they wanted to, but between the current state and their future state, there are a lot of things that will go into it, and at some point, most times, what I want to say is very crazy here. Most times, everyone that were present with us in our present state that kept us there might not be a good fit for our future state. Because some of them might be comfortable in our failure, and they're okay because moving into our future state will bring a pain on them. And because of the pain, and that's why so many initiatives do not fly in the board meeting. Why? Because if the company will bet a future state, some members of the board and executives, we have to go for it. Hello? But we don't want to let go of these guys, and they want to say consult, and you know what? Find a way that with us, we must be part of it. So many times, I can tell you, in strategy, we have a lot of lies. I don't know, these are issues that I've seen. We have a lot of lies, a lot of things that we know. It's very hard for the ED, for after we define the future state, for ED to stand up and say, sorry, I don't want to hold this company back. I'm resigning. Because so many times it might be the best decision for the company, for the organization. Because there's a company I won't mention the name, they just shut out the MD now, and MD, they told him not to come to the office area anymore. He owns the shares, it's his business, but if the business will grow, you have to hands off everything. I said, hey, I will now come again. Yeah, I've been coming for 24 years, but you've not grown beyond 24 years. So if you really know what it takes to grow, then you should be there. So, and I can tell you, I guess the guy was already praying for exit or something, or maybe transition, and the guy left actually. And the company made a lot of huge profit in the last 2 years that he has never seen before. So guess what? He's not telling people that he's not coming home. Because the money he's getting even from the business is a lot than even while he was there. So I will tell you what, so he's literally at the golf course now, playing golf and enjoying money. Playing golf and they're enjoying money, they're growing. So variations in business analyst competence can impact quality. Now, when you have BAs that you've hired by title and they cannot do it, most times you hire BA by title. We need a BA now. And it's not a title. It's somebody that naturally does not do critical reasoning. Does not have this creative design thinking. The guy does not know it. So having a certification alone will not help you. Now, certification will jumpstart to make sure you know the right things. It's just like you cannot get to the future by only having Google Map. Google Map will just tell you the direction and what you need to do. So what certification will do is tell you the direction. So you take the direction, because from that place, Google Map will not just lift you there. You need to walk the path of becoming a business analyst. Okay? So let us look at the competencies that we need to quickly build to be a BA. One, we need to have what? Business. Now, expert judgment has a lot under it. Every organization you work, you must have business acumen. You must know about the business. Number two, you must have industry knowledge. And when we talk about industry, we're talking about local and global. Because at some point, there's going to be there's a gap between local and global, but there's going to be a bridge. We're trying to bridge the gap between local and global. So you must also be aware of what is happening outside your industry. There was a time I was looking at this certification, CSE, it's called Certified Sales Executive. There's nothing in that certification that is not in the PHRI. But these are what anybody that will become sales manager must know. Can you imagine? Sales managers must be able to plan sales territory, must be able to come up with sales compensation, she must be able to come up with out salesman motivation. So all those motivational theories, all those things, all great sales manager must also know it. Now, in Nigeria, you see the gap. You want to ask someone in sales, they don't know it. You start asking strategic questions. Okay, how do you do this? Say, I don't know. But is that a sales rule? It's not to give me target and let me know how to get there. No, that's not that. So when you look at the competency that they're requiring everywhere in the world, in your profession, then you need to identify now a gap between where you are, even when it's not being required in Nigeria. In the industry we play, you must not be found wanting. How can you be HR head in Nigeria and become nanny in US? It's a problem. There's a problem. Because how can you be a branch manager in Nigeria and become a security guy in US? Sorry, there's a problem. So there's a competency problem. That your competency only fit the requirement for nanny or fit the requirement, but at home. See, I meet a lot of them when I travel. They say, at home, I was a BM. There's this guy that was BM with me. He's a security guy in the church. Then I'm wondering, what's wrong with you? But it's a competency gap. Because after they ask like 10 questions, they realize that they would ask you, which company were you working for there? Have you seen how, so he was an engineer. Who studied engineering? So does it know, immediately you finish school, the final year, engineer. After that, sorry, I don't know. I don't know. Sorry, because when I was doing my project, I was meant to build film slide projector. Some were doing transistor, some were doing radio, some were doing this. But you know, during that time, we went out to go and meet Monsuru. Monsuru didn't go to school, but Monsuru was the one helping them with soldering, doing motherboard, putting diode and cathode. Is that all? We're putting it there, and we that went to school, and we're finally here, they're about to give certificate. We're looking at Monsuru, and Monsuru is wondering, I said, don't you feel so bad about being an engineer? Now, imagine they now said in the World Forum, all engineers should stand up. And there's an engineer from here that stood up. You stand up, but I don't stand up. So I won't disgrace Africa. Because you know already that what we know cannot compete globally. So, what should we do? We shouldn't chicken out of it. It's to understand the gap and be conscious and deliberate about bridging that gap, even when it's not required. Even when in Nigeria you still get a job as an engineer, even when in Nigeria you still get a job as an HR, you must keep benchmarking within your industry and see the skills you need to keep acquiring before that time comes. It will come. Either you live at short of the nation, or I'm almost okay. So political and cultural. Now a BA must have, because you're about to cause a change in an enterprise. There are political powers, culture. That's what we call cultural awareness, political awareness. So a BA should be political savvy, understand different culture. So a BA cannot have a culture. Must be cultureless. Must be a chameleon. Must pick the culture that will help him scale that initiative. But if you're a BA with a culture, it can't work. You must have political and cultural awareness. Now, must be creative in thinking. Now, how many of us know how to rehearse creative thinking? How many of us can start trying it? Now, when you see anything, I do that a lot for myself now to see how can I, because I need to stir it up. So when I see anything happen, then I will look at it. Then I will come up with 10 interpretations of that thing. Because there's a way you are seeing it that somebody else will see it differently. Until you can see something and see it from 10 different angles, then you can now start stirring up your creative thinking. But if you only think it 1, 2, there's no other way now. There's a problem. There are other ways. Somebody else will see that same thing and will come up with a new solution. That means you must force ourselves to come up with those ideas. So I try to rehearse it a lot. When I see somebody behave somehow, I'll just sit down. So give me 10 reasons why this guy is behaving this way. Sorry, I do that. It's a way to start stirring up your mind. Okay, why? Do you know, when you see somebody arguing publicly, you need to start thinking creatively and say, why? That's just arguing. You said the issue alone. No, I was buying suya yesterday night. So one lady, I don't know what happened, just went to another girl and hit her. And the lady was the one that is buying suya beside me that hit her. So I moved a bit. So I was not looking at her. So people were now holding the other lady and saying, because what that girl did looks like there's mental problem. So I started analyzing that, thank God that this girl doesn't even hit her back. But this girl might actually be, because I was actually looking at the way she was behaving as a girl, where she's coming from, what's happening, maybe she's having trouble, so I started writing things about her. She was not thinking I was looking at her. She said, Egba, with me. He said, Egba, are you looking at me? I said, look at you. I'm looking at you. Look at you. Who am I? Look at you. So thinking, detailed thinking. I love that. Detailed thinking. That's another skill we need to learn. But sometimes we think that we're thinking. Have you ever seen someone told me, when people come and meet me and say, well, I will think about it. I said, what do you want to think about? How do you know you're thinking when you're thinking about it? So because sometimes you need to question some things. Somebody is telling you he doesn't know what to do now. I said, well, give me time, I'll think about it. What do you think? Okay. How will you know now that you are thinking? The person will say, I can't think now. Yeah, tell me, how will you know? Because, sorry, the question that I asked that I look stupid, isn't it? But don't you think that we should ask? So I tell people that there's no thinking. There's majorly a lot of expert judgment you are seeking. You are also doing a bit of analysis, competitive analysis, looking at others that are doing it, going around to see whether you make. Because you need to do. It's not that you are thinking like this. People make thinking look like. So I'm saying, yeah, think. And it's not possible. That's how to think. Is it? You have to, that's why you call it. You need to do analysis, different trend analysis. Is it trend analysis of what has been happening around? Okay. If you say go and think about your life, who can tell me how to think about life? Okay, I need someone else. Say, okay, I don't think about my life. How do you think? How do you? Okay, what's the process? Well, there's a process for everything in business analysis. There's a process for thinking. So the moment you want to say you want to think about your organization, you want to think about your life, you must follow certain processes to even know whether you are thinking or not. If you're not going to follow those processes, you are not thinking, but you think you are thinking. So here, communication skills. A BA should have what we call active listening. Should always listen. You know what does it mean to listen? Those are soft skills that are very strong, that a lot of times, my grandma, she said something. She said, it's only the person that looks very well that will see the nose. So I don't know how to put it in the. If you look very well, you see the nose. That means if you listen well, you see what is not obvious. But most times we think we're listening, but we're not. So a BA should listen to behavioral movement when you're communicating with your CEO. Look at how the CFO looked at the CEO. You cannot be sleeping. And because you should be aware. You should be connecting the dots. You say, and I didn't see it. You can't be because they've sold you. Just one eye. You should know what they're talking about. But if you don't know, it means also you cannot help understand and decode. And if you look at this, we have what we call communication tailoring. What does that mean? Who knows that? Communication tailoring. That means, who can tell me? What's communication tailoring? Very simple, very, very simple. Okay?
Well, in my understanding, communication tailoring will have to deal with, you've heard what the person has to say. So you're not just telling the person motivational speeches. You're going to tailor your response according to the person's need.
Excellent. So as a BA, you tailor. So if you're talking to CFO, you tailor using financial terms. When talking to the IT guys, you tailor your communication. That means there's no one size fits all. Okay. So we have what we call what's facilitation. What does that mean? Because we have to facilitate collaboration, collaborative discussion. We need to facilitate among stakeholders. So what does it mean to facilitate? Who can tell us? What does it mean to facilitate? It's a skill that we must have as business analysts because we cannot have all the solutions. Sometimes you pick those solutions. Have you ever seen a consultant come to your company and all he does is that you supply the solution? You are the one that supplies the information. You supply all those things, but you charge it for money for helping you facilitate and make you think. Do you know why you go to the doctor and pay 20,000 per visit? You know why? He facilitates. How many days? How many days? 5 days. Do you have back pain? Yes. You do it in front of him? Yes. Does it come every night or midday? So it's facilitating. It's stirring you up to give him information. So a BA must learn how to facilitate. Sometimes they make you feel good so that you can talk. Because some people might be very stiff. Am I correct? And not give you information. Because don't forget, it's not doctor now. Doctor, you carry yourself there. You know you have problems. Unlike your BA role at work, and you're talking to a principality or a line manager that feels he knows everything, how will you facilitate the guy to give you information? If you're not very good with communication, if you cannot tailor what he wants, if you cannot tailor communication, you can't facilitate. You will not, after that meeting, you will not get anything from that person that you can use. Why? Because they will hoard information. You now go, you now say, LOMD is hoarding information from me. You lack facilitation skills. That's why he's not giving information to someone like you. You lack communication tailoring. That's why he's not giving information to someone like you. So you're saying, well, that man doesn't give information. No, he gives information, but not to people like you, not the way you are. So have you ever seen a situation where you kept something in your life till you saw someone, and the person started talking to you, and you open up. Open up! I've never shared it with anyone. Am I correct? So why do you share it? He said, I don't even know. It's a good facilitator. He got information from you. Now, personal skills. Now, you can't be a BA if you're not adaptable. You're very rigid. You can't be a BA if you don't have ethics. Ethics. Now, you can't be a BA if you don't know how to manage time. If you don't have work ethic. You know something? There's something we call over-investment in Nigeria. People actually pray for over-investment. In employee relations, there's something we call over-investment. That we call, what do you call this? What? Somebody help me? I forgot it. Someone,
when the company pays you so much and yet you do.
What do we call? There's two things we focus on. I forgot. Offer inducement.
Okay, unexpected contribution.
Now, people pray to have more investment than their contribution, isn't it? You will get work you didn't work for. You will get money you didn't work for. Ha! Sorry, would you come to my shop? Why can't I tell you that you build competency and you attract? You attract. That said, why do I want to even get money I didn't work for? Is that a robbery? So is that a 419? If I keep desiring that one day I will always get money I didn't work for. That's my grandma. So she raised me a lot. She said something. They call it, sorry, I don't know, Shala, you help me interpret this. Because I know there was a time we did a conference and you know how to interpret Yoruba. So you have to help me to translate to English. Now, they said, along, kulong, kibe. Along, kulong, kibe. What does that mean? It's a thief. So, you see, you want to get a job that after every month you leave work or your boss will keep it. Ah! It's a thief. You've stolen money you didn't work for. Have you ever seen somebody that sometimes you are doing that, you know yourself that you must not leave the company. I live here. People that will pay me this kind of money will be very few. So I'll just stay here because I know. So these are issues. So why you see that people are not going to career transition, but they are moving very fast. There's so many other critical reasoning around it. It's beyond that they want to stay. They don't have what to move. One. Number two is that they built a comfort zone, not a comfort zone. Their comfort zone have moved to comfort zone. So they know that this is the only place they can be, that can accept them the way they have. I know that just sang a song. He said, "Take me as I am." Sorry, do you know that song? It's a long time song. It's a very long time song. Do you know the song? You know Dido? Is it Dido or Dido? Dido. You see? I don't know that song. Somebody Dido? You know Dido? Don't worry. So, leadership skills, change agent skills, negotiation skills, and a BA must know about tools. Honestly, in business analysis courses, you're going to be learning so much about tools. And I'm there's no more. I would have shown you this. How many of us brainstorm with our team? How do you brainstorm? So how do you brainstorm? Can you tell us how you brainstorm? Will you just come and say, there's an idea ahead of us, let us come up with something. So how do you do it? Is it that, how do you brainstorm? I want to explain how to use tools. So we know why we should use tools. Because it will help us to be more productive in anything we want to do. So, how do you brainstorm? Which tool do you use to brainstorm?
Basically, we kind of decide on what the plan is, and we always start talking.
Do you use any tool? Oh, okay. Who uses any tool to brainstorm? Can you share with us the tools you use to brainstorm at work? Or techniques, what you use to brainstorm? Now, there's a tool you have now that I know you know about already. I know definitely because she's done some courses and all. And I know you know about the Ishikawa. Do you know about Ishikawa? The fishbone diagram? Have you used it to brainstorm before? Don't forget my twine, a man who does not use has no advantage over a man does not have. So you've used what is it will help you brainstorm well. You know what? This company is going through a lot of trouble, okay? So you want to brainstorm. So you draw Ishikawa. So what categories do you think of? Now we want to categorize our company's problem. You now categorize management, leadership, or maybe management, economic, what else again? What are the problems of management? Okay, let me ask you a question. Imagine you want to brainstorm with your people. Why are you having turnover in your company? What will you say? How will you do it? How will you categorize it in the car? Now, you want to brainstorm. I want to say, why are we having problems? Or why are people leaving our company? Now, do you know that people will start talking, if you're brainstorming, they'll not be giving you from afar. And when you now have a lot of ideas, you now start recategorizing yourself. That's a lot of waste of time. You now start using affinity diagram. You know affinity diagram? Affinity diagram to recategorize and bring ideas that are similar under one category. Well, why don't you just use Ishikawa from the beginning and categorize the problems companies can have? Say management, motivation, environment, this. Okay, now say under management, what do you think management is doing wrong? Now, under economy, what's really happening? Oh, people are going to Canada, this is this. Okay, under motivation, what do you think we're not doing? There's no career party. There's no this one here. There's no money here. There's no this one. You said now you're organizing what's using a tool. So a BA will actually do what you've been doing before, but in a better way. Using techniques and tools that you know to elicit and to recommend solutions. So a BA will not just come up with things without having models, drawing models. If a BA comes to your company, the first thing he wants to do is to bring all your problems to a model. Because when we can see the picture, we can solve the problem. So don't you know that if anybody can draw the process flow of your work, of your job, that person can take a role. If you can draw out. The reason why people find this from people at work is that nobody has been able to draw out how you work. The day somebody can draw out, the day somebody can draw out how you work and say, okay, you come to work, okay, what do you do? How do you make this decision? What do you go through? What do you go through? And they can put it in a diagram. Then they have you on paper. Hello? Does that make you almost indispensable? Or because what? It makes you indispensable, isn't it? Because they have you on paper now. So Nigerians find it hard to bring down their processes down on paper because they don't want to be indispensable. But that's my unique code. But some companies already know about this, that one of the ways you can eliminate human risk and all those issues is to put everything people do in your organization into processes. So whatever somebody is doing, there must be a process. If you do it and you're not going to a process, and you can't document the process, we'll query you. Because we don't want you to own us. We want to have business sustainability. So in case one day you want to walk away, you can, and we can have business continuity. We won't have to be choked because you're working out, you're leaving us, because we've drawn out the process flow. So that's about that. So we need to know about tools. So let me move a bit fast. Business analysts may lead, but they do not oversee project resources. What does that mean? They do not manage the project themselves. So you don't have to be a project manager. And let me give you an example. There's usually a conflict between the project manager and BA. Some organizations, they make BA and project manager the same person. There's a lot of conflict of interest. I'll tell you what it is. Now, have you ever, when we were growing up, We used to wash plates in the kitchen. I don't know whether you did it also. That you have days that you're washing your plates. Does that happen? That they will write roster. Let's say you came from where they have it in plenty. You have like 7 before it gets to you after 7 days. You are on Monday. There's charge for Tuesday, there's charge for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You know, there's houses like that. So they have 1 day per person. So something usually happens in those days. When I'm trying to wash plates, I'll wash so that when anybody brings plate when I'm almost done, maybe I was trying to clean with towel, maybe I've cleaned the zinc, I was just trying to dry out the guy, one of my brothers will not just bring 1 plate. I want to drop it. Do you know that sometimes you must be angry? You not say, drop it now. The guy will say, why are you insulting me now? I didn't insult you. Drop it there. Why just come in? The reason is that you have 2 goals. You want to finish to time. You must also clean all the plates. So a project manager is a person that wants to just make sure he delivers to time, even when he's delivering nonsense. His goal is to quickly deliver anything you want. But he's even praying that you should not change what you want. Even when what you want will not help you again. That's why most times in Nigerian business is when you buy something and leave the shop. In fact, people will be holding their hands where they are praying. That it should miss by. You know, so when you come out and they give you receipt, as you walk out, it's finished. Project is completed. He said, well, I don't need it. Yes, you bought it. You bought it. So that's why the way they do business abroad is so different. That you can work out for 7 days and bring it back. But here, if you work out, even not 40,000, 1 minute. 1 minute, you say, okay, there's no way. Money has entered bank. Okay, is the only one that can, you know. So you must buy what you don't need. But now, so the project manager goal, the guy is saying, let me deliver project to time. And the BA is saying, anything we're going to do must add value to us. So now we are on a kind of 8 weeks project. And we have our requirements already that we gave you to deliver the project. Then one of our competitors launched something 4th week. Guess what? While we're doing our competitive analysis and all, we've identified all requirements, we've built it that will make our own unique. But by the time before we launched and we're still working on our project, the 4th week, our competitors launched something new. A BA will run to a project manager immediately and say, no, hold on. There are new features. There are new requirements to position us again ahead of our competitors. So, the project manager will say, so we won't finish this one. What's the benefit of finishing what will not help us grow again? It's the end of the project, so he gives you another one. Then you set up a new features, new requirement, new everything. They set up another 7 weeks to launch this. A new competitor from South Africa just showed up the 3rd week and came up with something again. Boom! A BA will run to the project manager, we can't run again. Then they said, follow me now. Do you know there will be a time that project manager and BA will be fighting? Now, what's this about? You guys, get all the information you want before you come here. But don't forget that the BA too does not know. All he wants to do is to make sure he positions the company in such a way that no competition can beat them. That's his own interest. Now, the interest of the project manager is to finish anything now. So that's why it's so difficult to be a BA and a project manager at the same time. Because there will be conflict of interest. At some point, they say, hey, a new competitor in South Africa, don't let MEC go. Sorry, a BA that is BA and project manager, he will hear about it. You say, don't let MEC go. Please, let me finish this one. So he will just want to finish his project. And now, the day he comes in, he says, yeah, I didn't see that one. He saw it. But he just want to finish. Hello? So that's always the conflict between the project manager and the business analyst. Because the guy wants the best for the business. But that means for us to achieve well, there must always be collaboration. That's why I love agile environment. We have Scrum and all those methodologies. Now they help to make sure, because you can be running Scrum and you are not willing to quickly, you are the ones that even want to welcome the change. Because all your interest is to position the company as, as the leading company, whatever you want to do. So what are we talking about? For every product the company wants to launch, a BA must understand the company's strategy. You know what? Many years ago, has it ever happened to you before that people recommend wife to you that is not your wife? Jibola, I said a good wife. I'm not done. After you see the person, mommy, why now? Mommy, why? Mommy, why? Why? What's the problem? Because the person that is recommending your solution does not understand your strategy. So what is good for Mr. A is good, but your strategy does not understand the reason behind the product. Now, the reason behind the product is like you knowing the company's strategy and why this product will help them position them into the future they want to be. So a BA must have a clear understanding of strategy, clear understanding of the reason behind the product, and a BA must also know about the organization. You must understand the extra of the company you work, how things work there. Because a BA does not understand the politics, the things that happen there, the company, you will fail as a BA. I don't see, you want to come with someone who say, you can't work here. Me, I know this company. So a BA must be someone that knows this company. So he will know also how to influence the organization. So you must know the structure, and don't forget, not everything on the organogram, not everything you see on the organogram, not everybody you see on the organogram has power. You must also know the people that have power that know on the organogram. In fact, for your change initiative to fly, I was in a bank and I wanted to launch, and I met one of their head of performance. So, I told the person that I've been trying to get the MD. The person said, don't forget the person that was talking to me. It's not the HR, it's not anything. He said, what time do you always send the mail? I said, but I send the mail Sunday this time. The HR head too does not know the time. She knows the time. She said, I don't want to let them to know. This will happen in the company in the future. But he said, MD told me that. MD. Oh, can you didn't tell me this one? Do you know what that means? So imagine you want to launch a change initiative in that corporate environment and you don't know that that's the HR. What the HR director? It's not HR. It's not HR. See, it's HR by, let us just give it to them. Title. But if you want to get things done, you will spend, with that HR, things will always stop. But with the person we're talking about, things will fly. But this other person is not the organogram. The organogram does not capture it. Do you understand?
Yes.
So you must understand the organization as a BA to be able to influence the company. And also, you must value each relationship in the sphere of influence, that, because each of the stakeholders, the line managers, all those guys, they bring certain level of influence to you. You must manage them. You must be able to value those, because all of them can give you information. Then you must have what? Industry knowledge. What's happening with you? Because that's what you're trying to do. Because you are aware of the competition, you're aware of what others are doing that you're not doing. Some businesses, HR leaders, don't even know their competition. Don't even know who's competing or what they are doing. You must know. You must also try to snatch their new strategy for next year and bring it and come and use it to set up because you are competing. In fact, it's a warfare. Now, indirectly, don't forget we are waging war. Wait, people tell you organization collaborate. Organizations are waging war. They are fighting to have the best affordable talent. When I say, I'm not saying best talent though. I said best affordable. Sorry, everything in life is affordable. You know, somebody said everybody is looking for the best affordable wife. Not every wife is affordable. Hello, am I correct? Yes. Sometimes your pocket can also tell you where you go to. Hello? Shola? Am I correct? Affordable, or someone is looking for affordable solution. Sorry, I want to buy phone. There's a phone now. How much? Like 480,000. I want to buy phone now. You know why? Because that's not what I'm saying now. Somebody told me when they say, I want to buy, again, I want to buy perfume. I said, perfume, I have perfume now. What's your budget? I said, which one do you have? I said, what's your budget? I said, which one do you have? I said, I have the Amora brand. How much is the Amora brand? He said, 110. He said, you want a perfume now? I said, what's your budget? He said, like passion. Passion, kiss. Do you know passion and kiss? Do you know kiss? Do you know kiss and wife? Underground is a bit? Kiss, passion. No. Don't worry. So can you see, he's looking for affordable perfume. Am I correct? So everything, there's affordable in front. So what we want to give our company is affordable solutions. But how they can maximize their investment today, what they have to invest, what you know they can invest, since you know their financials. You're not coming up with an idea that's going to take them 7 years to even launch one. Let's say I give them big idea. I think I will collapse them today. It's not a big idea. It's not a big idea. So you're looking at their financials, looking at what they want to do, and you're recommending affordable solutions they can use to get to where they want to get. So the product, we've done that, so let's move on. So the trends, we talk about trends that so we're talking about recent PMI research identified business analysis as a key competency to help organizations to achieve its goal and identify 3 key critical areas to improve. Number 1, the first critical area is people. Getting people that can apply business analysis is very scarce. Okay? So companies need people. Now, some HR leaders don't even know what to look out for to know whether this BA is the right BA for our business. So how do we recognize and develop skills needed to perform this important role? So number 1, the people. If you don't have the people, sorry, has it ever happened to you before that you plug in the right people and your company just change? So does that happen before? That you just change 3 roles, and things just change. And only and you have 1,000 people before. So does that happen? That only 3 roles changed and everything changed? Now, because you got people with the right skills, we should clap for people that even recognize the skills required that your company needs now. Now, if you know what your company needs now, recruitment will be very slow. Most times it's a guesswork. Not everybody really understands. That's why sometimes you see that some business leaders that understand, when HR has done screening and everything, when you get to them, just look at you. How are you? Under 2 minutes. He said, he's not even. And when he, sir, look at, he went to this, he's not even. So does that happen? You're wondering how? Because this guy he knows how to recognize talents. I was reading a bit about this guy that went to Virginia, what's his name again? Richard Branson. And I saw that those guys don't even leave key talent acquisition to HR alone. Because if you plug in the wrong people at a certain level, you have the wrong head, you're finished. Am I correct? Do you know that if head is not correct alone, the body is wasteful? Hello? Am I correct? Yes. The reason why you are sitting down now is because the head is correct. if the head alone is not correct, everything will start misbehaving. Am I correct? So the same way in organizations, if the head is not correct, there's so much problems. So people, two, processes. You see, most times, that's why I love people that are probably imbibing ISO and all that. You see, every company should adopt a BA standard that you want to run. Whatever you want to do business analysis work across the enterprise, there must be a standard process. Not that this person did his own BA this way, another person here, another person do it. Standard process that everybody follows in your. So companies should have standard processes that we can have consistent practice. Then culture. Now, if BA will really function as a BA, then the CEO that is insecure might say, does it not want to take our role? Because the BA role looks like a leadership role, helping you chart the course of your organization. So if top management will not support or value this BA practice, then there will be a lot of problems. And BAs cannot function. Now, in other words, the BA must be someone that top management can respect. How will top management respect the BA? You can tell us. How will top management respect a BA? Hello? I want feedback now. What? You can tell me. How will top management respect BA? Oh my goodness. Thank God nobody gave a test after this course. People would have not gotten it right. That's the first question. How? Number one, no, BA must know the product. BA must know the organization. BA must know about the industry.
But you know that even if the BA knows all this and the BA is not able to perform and they can't see any return on investment.
What is called BA? Don't forget, BA is not BA by name. No. Some people might have BA. So I don't call those BA. It's just BA title. You know, in Nigeria, we give title to make people happy. So I'm not talking about those BA that have titles. I say BA. Now, for someone to be a BA, you need to know about the product. And you need to have those competencies that I mentioned the other time. So if you want to put someone and make someone your BA, you must understand whether that person has those competencies. We have those competencies. Let's those competencies. What are those competencies again? What are those competencies again? Communication skills. What are those competencies again? Actively should have expert judgment. And we said that talks about what? Business acumen. What else again? Political and cultural awareness. So can you not see that if you have someone that does not have all those, that you cannot mark those skills, don't make that person your BA. So the person might have BA Manchester, but does not understand political and cultural awareness. They will fire that BA in Nigeria. Am I correct? So it's not about, it's about you knowing the BA that fits your organization. And the only way you can know that is taking those skills, those competencies, to know whether you actually are interviewing a BA. How do you test the person? Test is creative thinking. Test is design thinking. Test is detailed thinking. Test all those things. If he doesn't have it, he will just collect your money. And it won't deliver value into the business. So here, business analysis can be applied to every discipline in the world. So it's not only you saying it's for business analysts alone. So business analysis must be tailored to any organization that you find yourself. Now, so it can be used. Now, it can be used in the hospital. Sorry, I'll just take one of the examples. Healthcare. Imagine you see a lot of patients. Like, it's only Nigeria that I know that barbers are plenty. Barbers are low. When you want to go and barb? You know, when you travel, you book an appointment. And they give you exact time. The last person is barbing, you stand up, and they will ask you, who are the walk-ins? The walk-ins will sit down somewhere for long, while people will be packing and coming in that are booked, so that they don't want people to be clogged in their barbing salon. So it's the only place that you see that people are going to see doctors and you know an appointment. Sorry, if you travel, people that have used America to do anything, you must have an appointment. You must have a doctor's appointment. He's expecting you so that the place will not be like MOP. Or you see casualty. People are trying to see doctor because they showed up unplanned. That's what happened. So people are saying, hey, I'm going to hospital. Why? So I get there first. Why? Because after someone that is sick, get there first also to die. You know, because you must know the time. They are coming. So people, I was in the hospital one time on the queue. Somebody fell down already. And I said, this guy is denying you. Me too, I can afford that. I said, I you know, when the guy saw the queue, he came late. Very smart guy. He came late. He was on the queue. He knows that this queue will not go. He joined the queue. I said, oh, here is a joke. If not for you, have defined that solution. For me to lose it again, they will think everybody is just falling down. I'm falling down. Can you see that solution is time bound? If I fall down after him, they won't carry me. They say you wake up. You wake up. So effective business analysis helps to address business needs, to manage risk and reduce rework, minimize product defect. What is called defect? Don't forget, what we're trying to look at for is to make sure our product has the right features. Features are the things, because when you look at it, sorry, have you ever seen drugs? You look on the shelf and you're looking for a drug that has the features you're looking for. Not all drug is your solution. Now, drugs also, they are solutions, but not to every human being. It means that not all solution also, each solution must have required features that fit into, that's customized for that person's problem. So when you go to the shelf, you are looking for vitamin A, they now give you a particular drug that has vitamins, but do you have it? But say it has all vitamins. He said, what I'm looking for is vitamin A alone. Now, I would have loved to have more features if you have A, B, C, D. So, I would love this one and having only A. So that's how sometimes some people come to the workplace and they display features that we don't need and we hide them. We are looking for feature A. Then the person now came and have C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, vitamin D, vitamin Z. They said, okay. This guy has 20 vitamins. We need him. I said, but we're looking for vitamin A. I said, sir, you won't miss this guy. This guy has vitamins. Do you understand? But because you've been looking for A, you didn't see for long. You now hire someone that has B, C, D, E, F, G, H. You now want that person to come and be vitamin A. You now believe that combination B, D, G plus F will call him. So that's how for me to add the behavior. They want someone, they will now get B, D, they will not say if you can add B, C, D, G, E, F equals A. So that person will not join your company and he will not be able to give vitamin A. So your problems remain. Now say, behave now. Behave. And you know that person needs money. Since you don't know how to identify A, you will put A around him. I'm vitamin A. Are you sure? Oh, he's hungry now. And I'm asking. Physiological needs, need job. Let's say, sorry, how many of us will go for an interview and they're looking for A and you're busy, you say you are A? Sorry, will you? How many of us can confess that you will say you confess that you are A? Since you know, and they are asking you that, do you have A? I have A now. Sir, you see A? I have A. Now because you need job. Is that not what happens most of the time? So even when we get to the company, this is always the challenge. That we're not getting value. We've plugged in talent, we've deployed solutions, we've done a lot, but things are not still changing. It's because then we have to do another what we call the recruitment. That's the work. We now the work again. You the work again. You the work again. So for us to be able to even identify who we are looking for, solutions we need to do requirement gathering to make sure we've done all well, that whatever solution, we can even spot this ourselves. without asking that person or without asking anything, but say, this solution is what we need because it has all of this. So, and achieve stakeholders' satisfaction. Sorry, have you seen a solution or anybody deployed IT before that IT started malfunctioning? If all departments like it except your department, all departments' requirements was captured, but it was not meeting your departmental requirement. Does it happen before? Now, would you get angry? Have you ever seen situations where you tell them that, I want to go back to the old? That was not my problem because they captured my requirement. So stakeholders will not be happy if the solutions we are deploying is not solving their problems. That's why a BA must engage all stakeholders to make sure all their requirements is captured well, to make sure the solution we are launching or about to deploy can solve everyone, can meet everybody in the point of their needs. What? No? Then that's why most projects in companies actually fail and does not achieve stakeholder satisfaction because it failed from the beginning. True requirement gathering. But sometimes requirement gathering can also be very slow. And want to have it fast. That's what happened in the company. CEO just come. You know what? We want to deploy the solution. This company does by 2 weeks time. Move now. Then I command. What happens again is that people start on me. So we don't even have time for the requirement gathering. We just move and deploy. Sir, it's ready. It's ready. Sir, it's ready. Yes, it's a failed project. You spend money. And now, I've seen companies that spend money and they keep revisiting that same thing over and over again and keep having meetings for the next 3 years on the wrong decisions they've made because they've spent money on the wrong solution. So we need to do a lot of determination. So BA and project managers must do what? Must collaborate. So let's run through terms. Let's run the terms. Now I'll be defining this. What do we call products? Who can tell us what a product is? What's the difference between a product and a project? A project and a product. So a product is the output of a project. Okay? A product is the output of a project. Without a product, without a project, there cannot be a product. So now, but you know that not all products is a solution. Sometimes, so many products make a solution. That's why anytime when you go to the hospital, they recommend you won't have things, they will recommend 20 drugs. You'll be asking them, do you have one all-in-one? They will say no. They will say this one, this one, this one, so you have 10. 10 products, one solution. But it's one problem the person went to go and solve, but they will give the person 10 products. I don't know whether you understand what I'm saying. Yeah. So, but we can also have one product that is the solution. So I'm not saying product cannot be solution. I'm saying products can be solution, and several products also can be the solution. Some solutions cannot stand alone. It has to be several products that make up that solution. Do you understand that? Yes. So we have what we call product life cycle. Most times I use BlackBerry to explain this. You see, there's some time you keep advancing because for every project, we can use projects to improve products. Am I correct? You have a solution that you've deployed. You can keep coming up with new projects to improve the solution. Is that not what they do? How many of us keep updating our phone software? Because they will come up with new projects, then they will say, please install or maybe update your software. So it means that you can use projects to enhance products. But products also have a life cycle. Meaning that there's going to be a time of what we call diminishing return. That no matter what we put in, no matter the features that you are putting in that product, it has come to the end of that product. That's why so many times some companies are using some software before, like maybe you're using a software in banking. There's some software that they were using in the days of Cooperative Bank. Those softwares, if you know what's happening now, they're phasing out all, the world is moving to this solid state drive laptops. SSD, am I correct? Yes. They said it's faster. They said it doesn't crash. They said all those things are there. But all this, and the next, if you go to the stores, if you travel, you see that we are still the ones having majorly the one that is not SSD. we have more of HD. We now, all we are looking for is it 8 gig RAM and 1 terabyte? Is that what you want to buy? And maybe you want to buy Core i7. But they are phasing out those computers every day. The world, they've suffered information loss, so they don't want computers that will make them lose information anymore, because information is costly. How many of us have had crash computers that you lost information? Can you see them? So why do you still want to stick with the old? Why can't you move to SSG? But SSG is always more expensive. A little bit more expensive than the old one. Is that not it? But you know what? If you look at the information you are losing, then you will go for SSG. Am I correct? Solid state drive. So if you look at this, we have product life cycle means when a product reaches, and that 8D is about to reach the end of its life cycle. In the next 10 years, nobody here. The same way we are using Pentium. Can you remember Pentium? Pentium 4. That if you use Pentium 4 to render the videos now, your computer will not open in 2 weeks. Pentium, so people that render videos. If you use Pentium 4, if you use 4 gig to render a big video, so I put that into video and all this, you will be dead. Sometimes they will leave the computer for 24 hours. They will say, what's happening? Say it's rendering. Then when you left yesterday, say it's still rendering. Then the computer is rendering for 1 day. So now people are going for better solutions, okay? That can make them achieve their business objectives very fast. So they are buying 64 gig RAM that renders this way. Hello? Now, the reason why people still love 4 gig RAM is that there's no work to do. If it's too fast, it will expose them, they don't have work to do. So if I know that the reason why I'm having this job is that there's always work to do and there's only one work, how will I approve you to buy 64 gig that will make me render in 2 minutes? If I render in 2 minutes between 24 hours, this thing is so expensive. Sir, don't let us buy this 64 gig. It's too expensive. It's not cost effective. But it's a bad computer. In fact, people told me that it always crashes fast. This 4 is one we should buy. Why? Because the person also is not. That's what happened to some of the stakeholders when we're trying to gather requirements. Those stakeholders know that if that solution fly, that department will fold up. So what and there are key stakeholders to be part of your requirement gathering. So they won't let it happen. So these are things that happen in most of the organizations. So they will condemn, they will frustrate that project, they will frustrate that solution that won't see the light of the day. They will even let you deploy it and use it in a way that will kill the business. So they will now say, let's go back to the old. So these are issues that happen in companies. So we also have project life cycle is the timeline to deploy a project. And we have product life cycle that is longer than project life cycle till we cannot update or do anything about the product again. Then we also have product requirements and product information. What does that mean? Product requirements means everything that product you need to gather to be able to develop that product. So most times in Agile, we call it user stories. Okay, you want to collect user stories, information from stakeholders to know how the users, and there's so much information you're going to be collecting to make sure you are ready. And don't forget, one major information about the product I like, because product requirement is just a subset of product information also. Because you don't only need to know about the product requirements, some product information is also the vision of the company. Hello? So can you now see that? It's possible that you tell me all the features you want in the phone. But if I look at your status, I will not bring techno to you. Because you now look at it, do you know me? This can do everything you can want to do. But do you know me? Sorry, does that happen to you before? That somebody wants to sell hair to you, and you know it's not your own hair. It's not the hair you can put in your hair. This particular hair. That hair, they sell it for 7,000. It's like yellow like this. I remember being applying the price, but when I saw it on different comments, they had to pack one day to price the price of the hair. To know why a lot of people are buying this hair. It's 7,000 the hair. So the hair is like this. I know it when I see it. Nobody wearing it yet. You will see, I'll tell you are wearing it. You know the hair very well because I mean. So, but you know something? The hair can do the same thing, but because of the goal of different people, different persona, we call it persona analysis, different class. Some products will not fit the person's class. And you know, say, is here about class? Yes. Say, how many of us have ever seen that? Somebody said first class is not good. Hello? Say first class is a waste of money. Hello? Have you, sorry, do you know that? Say first class is a waste of money. You know, sometimes poverty can it can be part of you already. That already, it makes you condemn what is good. Am I correct? Honestly, when I'm flying and I pass first class, and they are blocking me, I'm like, hold on, nobody know. I must even know. You know, because first class is upstairs. So when I say I will miss road, bang, 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 I will climb. One time I climb Emily, bang, bang, bang. When I go there, I want to go and look at it. Say, where's the altitude R? Sir, it's not here. Oh, so sorry. Okay, two up. Is that two up? Looking for all that? I don't see what's happening there. That's not God. Sorry, it's good to miss road. So now I think I'm looking for the place. But what I'm looking for is different. Okay, types of product requirements. Now, number one type is business requirements. Number one, whenever you want to deploy a solution at work, you must understand what the business needs. So, now, business requirement is what the business needs. Now, for you to say you have a product information, or probably you have product requirements that you must have all these requirements. So, if you don't have all these requirements, it means you don't have product requirements. Now, get this. You must know what the business requires. You must also know what the stakeholders want. You must also know the transition requirements. Now, most times, people just try to understand what the stakeholders want and what the business requires, and they say they have the solution requirement already. No. Because if you go with that tool alone, and you use the tool alone, you're going to come up with a solution that is going to take 10 years for your company to go through transition of being able to use that. It's possible that you want to deploy technology and nobody in your company knows how to use computer. So if you deploy that technology today, then you're wasting money as a BA because the time value of money. You have that thing, but you cannot use it. So what we need to do is also look at the enterprise and look at the transition requirements. What will it take when it comes to training, when it comes to, we call it interoperability, ability to connect with other things that we're using before, the compatibility with our system. We must look at it before we say, oh, this is a solution. Now, if you're not going to look at all these requirements, then you don't have a product requirement. You cannot go with business alone or stakeholders alone without also understanding transition requirements, because if you look at the transition budget alone, maybe we have to train everybody to even have to be able to use computer. And the cost of training alone to make sure they can use computer before we start training them to use the software might even kill the business. So the company will tell you, come, we know that we're going to use this, but not now. This business cannot deploy it now. Why? We don't have money to train the people now. So these things must be factored in, because it's also bad if a BA deploys a solution and the company is not going to use it immediately. And it will also make us to know how to do release plan. Maybe you have to do the solution or deploy it or release it in trenches, and say the first one, the first release, so that it will be a build-up, because we are working with the transition of the people also to know how to release. BA is a skill that we need to survive in our world. And everybody must aspire to acquire it. They said from 2020 we need BA skills, and all of us that we're getting ready to do Happy New Year must gun for it. Or else, the year might not be happy, according to Economic Forum. Thank you. And that'll be nice. Now, do you have questions? So I will keep us here tonight. Do you have questions? Questions?
So what's the difference between a BA and a business development person? Because I'm a business development person in my organization, and so many of the things which you mentioned about are kind of things which I do every day. You know, product knowledge, knowing about the organization, knowing how to target that company, knowing more about that company and all of that. So can you please tell me the major differences between being a business analyst and a business development person? Thank you.
Okay, now, my own answer would be that. Of course, I said the other time that a BA can be, you can work in any capacity. So BDs, anyone is an HR, anybody is a BA, if you're identifying problems, you're doing everything. So it means it looks like what you're doing. But the only difference is that you might not have a standardized process that you use in doing it. So the reason why you want to become a BA was because many years ago, our forefathers have been herbalist doctors. Which doctor? No, we kind of doctor. They were doctors in the past also. But the reason why we went to school to also study, medicine, is to have a process, okay, so that it can be more predictable. In those days, we have Agbebi and Co. You know Agbebi? People that, when they want to give birth, midwives, but at some point, people were dying. A lot of things were happening. So they realized that there must be processes, things that we need to, so that we can reduce death rates. So the reason why you need to be a business, we can't call you a business analyst because you don't have standards that you use to do what you do. But you already do those things before. That's why I said, if you look at it, some of us have been doing all these things before now. But we're not following a defined process. So what you're trying to learn is how to follow a standardized process. Look at what she said. She's been doing brainstorming for long. But she's not been using that technique to do it, which will make it faster, better, and make you sound more professional. And that's the reason why we cannot totally, you are still a bad doctor or quack doctor. Now you want to go to school to now become a doctor. So you can merge herbalists that you've been doing before and also processed herbalism.
And my question would be, you mentioned that as a business analyst, you are expected not to have a culture. You're supposed to be cultureless. So I'm looking at an instance where, for instance, you are supposed to be, from all you have explained to us, it means that a business analyst must be like an internal consultant. So, yeah, and if you're an internal consultant, with a place to start from, not actually identifying if your culture, your own values, let me not use culture now, your own values align with the client's values, such that when you're actually recommending things, when you're trying to do things, because it's not about culture, then it will mean that it's easier for you to get stakeholder buy-in if your values align. But when you are a sort of cultureless, which value is basically a major component of culture, then wouldn't you have a problem at the end of the day? And how will the organization be able to achieve its objective?
Okay, let's look at that. I also mentioned something about ethics. Ethics. So, what's ethics? What's the difference between values and ethics? Every company has their values, and ethics is about their defined behavioral standards. So, of course, we said you should be ethical. That means you must be able to align yourself with their behavioral standards. So, a company you can't align yourself with their behavioral standard, you can't be a BA for them. So you can't, because you must be ethical, and that's written there, ethical. So that answers the question. Okay, good.
Well, thank you guys. We've literally come to a close with this. Please know that if you have questions, feel free to reach out.
I thank you so much for being here. It's amazing to see that people are still very interested in knowledge. My name is Unoma, and I'm here to represent Certification Edge. So in a few seconds, just going to let you know what we do. If you can see Ajibola's head, it's all gone. This guy has been taking knowledge for over 15 years. So that's how long certification has been here. We've transitioned from different names and now we're here. And of course, we're stronger and we're better. We're still Ajibola at the head of affairs. He's our managing partner certification. So I'll just tell you a few things about what we do for those persons who haven't heard about us and why you should choose us. First and foremost, we're an approved training center. So we offer trainings for all of these bodies, for HR Certification Institute, so PHRI, APHRI, SPHRI, GPHR, yes. And also we do for SHRM, SCP. We also have certified administrative professionals for those persons who would like to be more administrative in their profession. It's a certification for you as well. There's also the American Marketing Association, project management, which houses business analysis, what we talked about now, and also project management. And then Association for Talent Development. These are some of the certifications that we do, and we have gotten approval from these bodies to be able to train for them in Nigeria. We're not scammers. We are registered. That's what. I can go on, Abby? Yeah. Also, from what you've observed today, and from persons who were also here in the morning, you know that we don't joke with facilitators. Anybody who's attended our class, you know that we don't joke with facilitators. We make sure that we give you the best. So yes, you will keep getting top-notch facilitators. They are going to be HR leaders, they're going to be project managers, business analysts, people who are actually doing the work, people who have passed these exams. We don't bring people who will come to motivate you. We bring people who understand what is expected of you to be able to pass these certifications. So we can assure you that you're going to have top-notch facilitators. Aside from that, we don't just bring you to class and then tell you thank you so much for paying your training fee. No. So from our dedicated WhatsApp group, we put for your class after you've done your English training. It's also to help you communicate with the people who you've trained with, and also with your facilitators, to your facilitators leaving their numbers with you, no matter how busy they are. If you send them a text that, oh my, you taught me at Certification Edge, and I have a couple of questions, that person will return your call or reply your message. That's how important mentorship and coaching is for us. So we won't just leave you with coming to class. If you have any issue whatsoever, we'll be there to guide you through. Also, we have very interesting learning experiences. So from your in-class training, our trainings are weekends because we understand that you have to work Monday to Friday. So we have trainings on the weekends, Saturdays and Sundays. So depending on the course you're doing, it will take you about 4 to 6 days of in-class training, practical in-class training. We'll also get to do 6 to 8 weeks of testing systems. So we understand that some of these certifications are global. We want you to have a feel of what the questions look like so that you don't get them, surprised. So you get to do tests, from weekly tests to mock exams that mirrors what the real exam looks like. You also get after-class support system, and we have something called a boot camp. It's a one-day revision where everybody comes back to class and we just run through anything you don't understand from start to finish of the entire course. And then lastly, I think this is the best, we're number one. When it comes to training and development, we are number one. Thank you so much. Please give us a round of applause. Thank you. So yes, we are the best.
What we call diminishing law of intent. And I wanted to do this 5 years ago. I love the lady there. She's so wonderful. I know she won't want me to call her name. She came for the SPHR class. And during that class, she was also running the GPHR we were doing. And while she was reading the she was passing the exam, she was moving to another one. So life is about you taking it aggressively. There cannot be any comfortable period for you to do anything you want to do. Nothing good comes easy. No house of success is built on the road of convenience. Now, if you want to also do BA, it will inflict pain in your life in the next 6 months, 6 weeks. But there's a problem. You close your year with better colors. 2019 is almost gone. You have like 12 weeks to go. The question is, how far have I gone this year? What new capabilities have I built for myself? is it going to be one of those years that will just go again? You know, I'll just mark again, or I want to finish strong. Some people started strong. You know, that's what happens. Imagine you make money. That's what kills marketers. You sell very well the first 2 days of the month. Do you know what's going to happen? You're going to relax the next 18, 28 days of the month. But if you started well, why don't you run more? You know, why don't you fire more? Why is it that you want to relax? There's no relaxing. You know, like I'm having an exam on Monday. You know, you keep running till you run. You see, you must not relax till you run off the cliff. Because see, 2020 is about coming. Now I'm building more. It's not a time to relax. Because what are you celebrating, really? It's a celebration period. Celebrating life, new capabilities. I feel we should build more and say, Jibola, this is what I'm celebrating. Now, happy 2020. It's going to be a great year for all of us, but we must build the right capabilities that are coming from those who went for 2020. I wish everybody a great year ahead. I wish you a great week ahead. Thank you.
It's a cold-blooded love. It's a cold-blooded love. Let's break each other's hearts. It's a cold-blooded love.